don't.
Our time now is 8:13 on your Wednesday. It takes just moments for the holiday cheer to go up in flames, literally, as you can see from this Christmas tree fire. Demonstration shows just how quickly it could spread on a dry Christmas tree compared to one that is regularly watered. That one of many things that could go wrong during the holiday season. And emergency room Dr. Charles Muntan with Lakeview Regional Medical Center joins us now with some things that you need to be aware of, just some tips. And you were saying this time of year, working in an emergency room, what types of injuries do you normally see?
We see a lot of fall injuries, people getting up in the attics, getting up on ladders, putting up lights, and they'll go and do it by themselves and fall and get injured.
I just remembered myself yesterday getting on the top stool or the top step of the ladder thinking, okay, nobody's home, I could possibly fall on top of the tree. So people who are getting up on their roof to put up lights, that sort of thing, you suggest that they have a spotter?
Exactly.
At least somebody there to break the fall.
Somebody there to at least hold the ladder, or if unfortunately they do fall, they can help them get up, or if need be, call 911. And
putting up lights, dealing with wires and electrical sockets, what do you suggest there?
Just straightforward safety and just using your common sense. Don't use old wires, frayed wires. We get concerned about burn injuries. I'd hate for someone that would have family come in and actually have to spend their time dealing with burns, going to burn center.
Because it could be potentially dangerous. I mean, you could really have a serious burn. So you suggest just kind of going over all of the wires before you touch them and plug them in.
Check your lights, check the wires, and need be, throw them out and go buy some new ones.
And then when it comes to the Christmas tree, and we saw that video, it's really, I mean, it makes you nervous when you see that, a real Christmas tree, if you're not going to go the artificial route. When it comes to watering and stringing those lights on the Christmas tree, what do you suggest?
Make sure you get a good, healthy tree. Keep it watered. You don't want it to dry out. My wife and I used artificial trees starting about 8 years ago, just because it takes a lot of water. You really have to take care of it. And we've had an artificial tree for about 8 years.
So far, so good, huh?
So far, so good. The kids were a little disappointed that we switched from the real tree to the artificial, but it was more, they call me the safety officer at the house.
Well, I guess with all the things that you see in the emergency room, you got to be extra careful at home. Yes. And you mentioned kids. I mean, when you're decorating the tree, what are some tips as far, to make sure that they're not putting themselves in danger when it comes to low-hanging ornaments or lights, because they are curious, especially the little ones.
The little ones it's the biggest concern with choking hazards. So you just want to be careful about really small ornaments. If they try to eat them, they can choke on them. So it's really size-wise more than anything. And then be careful about the glass ornaments. Some of the kids will try to take a bite, so they can have mouth lacerations and oral lacerations.
And then if you don't have kids, if you have pets, that could be another problem too.
Same thing.
Same thing. And then fireplaces. What types of problems do you run into when you're using your fireplace this time of year?
People that don't open up the vents. You can get smoke inhalation injuries in the house. I think that's probably the biggest one.
Especially here when we're not used to using fireplaces. Correct. It doesn't get cold that often.
Exactly.
All right, some great tips this morning from Dr. Charles Muntan with Lakeview Regional Medical Center. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Stay safe.